Hello everyone! I hope you're ready for another adventure because it's only a few days from Halloween and Wayne reads Bunnicula, a story by Deborah and James Howell. Today, we're going to be finishing this amazing adventure. So, thank you for being along to join us, especially when you're going to be eating all of those treats during Halloween this weekend. Thankfully, Madame Owl is back to join us for the ending of this book. Are you ready to end this chapter, Madame Owl? I'm ready to end this adventure too. And hopefully you are too. Let's jump in. Chapter 9. All's well that ends well. Almost. Looking back on that night, I remember thinking that this whole mess could never have been resolved happily. What would become of Bunnicula, my new friend, who was suffering from starvation? And what of Chester, my old friend, who seemed to have flipped his lid, and, if you'll pardon my expression, was in the doghouse with the Monroes? Of far greater concern at that time, of course, was my own future, for on that night, all that my thoughts were consumed was the fear of the next day's injections. It all seemed hopeless indeed. But looking back on the next day, I can tell you that happy endings are possible, even in situations as fraught with complications as this one. Early the next morning, we all piled into the car, some of us with greater reluctance than others, and trotted off to the vet. By afternoon, we were on our way to solving our problems. The vet worked everything out nicely. He discovered that Bunnicula was suffering from extreme hunger. I could have told him that. Rather than jar his fragile stomach with solid foods, the doctor decided he should be put on a liquid diet to get better. So Bunnicula was immediately given some carrot juice, which he drank eagerly. After he finished, he looked over at me with a grin on his face and winked. Chester was diagnosed as being emotionally overwrought. It was suggested that he start sessions with a cat psychiatrist to work out what the doctor called a case of sibling rivalry with Bunnicula. I asked Chester later what a sibling was, but he wasn't speaking to me, so I looked it up. It's like a brother or sister. And sibling rivalry means you're competing with your brother or sister for attention. I wasn't sure this was Chester's problem, but it sure explained a lot about Toby and Pete. As for me, well, I came out the best. Dr. Wasserman was all about to give me my shots when the nurse came in with my card. Wait, doctor, this dog doesn't need its shots yet. It's too soon. So I got a pat in the head and a doggy pop instead. These days, everything is back to normal in the Monroe house. Almost. Bunnicula liked his liquid diet so much that the Monroes have kept him on it. And oddly enough, there have been no problems with vegetables mysteriously turning white since. Chester, of course, insists that this proves his theory. Obviously, Harold, the liquefied vegetables take the place of vegetable juices, so Bunnicula has no need to be roaming anymore. Then he's not a vampire, I said? Nonsense. He's a vampire, all right. But he's a modern vampire. He gets his juices from a blender. Case closed, Sherlock, I queried. Case closed. Oh, Chester. Yes, Harold? What are those funny marks on your neck? Chester jumped, and I laughed. Very funny, he said, as he began to bathe his tail. Very funny. The Monroes never knew anything of Chester's theory. They changed markets, and to this day, they believe they were victims of a curious vegetable blight. Bunnicula and I became good friends. He still didn't say anything, but he snuggles up to me by the fireplace, and we take long, cozy snoozes together. One night, I sang him a lullaby in an object dialect from his homeland, and he slept very peacefully. It was that night that cemented our friendship. Now, about Chester. I said that everything was back to normal, almost. Chester is the almost. He has been seeing his psychiatrist, Dr. Vodok Katz, twice a week for some time now. He takes his therapy very seriously. The other morning, I was trying to get a little sleep when Chester came over and nudged me in the ribs. Harold, do you realize we've never really communicated? I mean really communicated. I opened one eye cautiously. And in order to communicate, Harold, you have to be really in touch with yourself. Are you in touch with yourself, Harold? Can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I know who I am. I'm in touch with the me-ness that is me, and I can reach out to the you-ness that is you. I close my eye. I'm used to it by now. He talks like that all the time. He no longer reads Edgar Allan Poe at night, and once he concluded that he had been right about Bunnicula, there was no more talk about vampires. The Mark of the Vampire sits, its usefulness obsolete, on its shelf. Right now, he's reading Finding Yourself by Screaming a Lot. And the other night, when I heard the most awful noise coming from the basement, I didn't even bat an eyelid. I knew he was just Chester, finding himself, as he calls it. He explains it to me that he's getting in touch with his kittenhood, and I've told him that's fine, just to let me know when he's going to do it, so I can be elsewhere. I've had enough trouble from Chester's adventures. So, that's my story, and the story of a mysterious stranger who no longer seems quite so mysterious, and who is definitely no longer a stranger. I presented the facts as clearly as I could, and I leave it to you, my dear reader, to draw your own conclusions. I must now bring this narrative to a close, since it's Friday night, Toby's night to stay up late and read, and I can hear the crinkling of cellophane. I can only hope it covers 2 chocolate cupcakes with cream filling. That was an amazing adventure, especially to begin this Halloween weekend. I hope you all have an amazing and safe Halloween as you're out getting candy, and me and Madam Owl can't wait to see you on the next adventure. I'll see you later, Madam Owl. And I'll see you on the next time here with Wayne Reads. Stay safe, and we can't wait to see you on the next adventure. Bye-bye, everyone.